Like Deep Impact, man. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
How'd they know?
Some of the people killed
Goat
the goat.
pancreas. Goat pancreas.
Yeah.
Hi, you're watching Two Dumb Guys. I'm Brian. This is Ed. What do you think about the future?
I think it's bleak.
Yeah, it's scary.
I see. No, because the future is always the best time to live.
Yeah. I mean, it's 114 shades of gray, basically.
Sure, you could say that,
But
whatever the most modern time is the best time to be alive.
yeah.
Yeah, because like medicine's better and the technology's better. They didn't have a Nintendo Switch 50 years ago. They didn't have it 10
playing
years ago. Splatoon.
Well, as we think about the future and what it might hold, a lot of people turn to various methods of divination and fortune telling.
That kind of future.
Yeah. There's some more interesting, less common ones that I've been trying to learn a little bit about, and I wanted to talk about some of those, as well as one that I came up with on my own.
Oh, you developed your own.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But it was inspired by some of these that I've learned about.
I'm very curious about the BGDT.
The BGDT?
Yeah, the Brian Garrett Divination Technique.
Yes. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You get you a school where you teach this.
Well,
over the internet.
Well, when we get to it, we'll let you rethink that.
I don't know, man.
Okay, the first one, and I'm going to mispronounce some of these. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I'm just saying I already got dollar signs in my eyes.
Yeah.
At the idea of selling a divination technique.
Well, I want to start off with, and again, I'm going to mispronounce some of these, but I think I got this one. This one's called electromancy. Now, that's electromancy with an A. What do you think that is?
That's like raising the electricity. Maybe it involves a Jacob's ladder or one of those things that you get that looks like a crystal ball where you touch it and it's... Or maybe it's one of those things that it's like the silver ball that you put it on, your hair goes...
Basically, you get a bird or some birds... preferably a white rooster.
Okay.
Or a black hen, depending on which culture you're coming from.
Okay.
You would either scatter grain on the ground and just note the patterns with which the bird pecks the grain.
Okay.
Or you would put letters on the ground and put grain around there and like note which letters it pecks at the grain for. Kind of like a Ouija board.
Yeah, I was going to think it's like a Ouija board, but instead of a planchette, you got a chicken.
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
With electromancy, it started in a couple of different places, parts of Africa, but in ancient Rome it was a bigger deal because chickens were viewed as soothsayers.
So there was a talking chicken in Julius Caesar?
There may have been.
There's a character, the soothsayer.
Yeah. Okay.
The soothsayer says, "Beware the Ides of Mark." It's a talking chicken.
Yeah.
We're rebooting Julius Caesar with a talking chicken.
They threw a bunch of grain on a calendar and it just kept pecking around 15, not thinking about the fact that that was in the center of the calendar.
Yeah.
And that's where all the grain had collected because the calendar was warped.
Yeah, but then they killed him.
And then they killed him. Oh, and they eat him. You know, it's like, hey, thank you for all the fortune telling you've done. We're going to fry you now in our primitive olive oil with salt. Now, also involving birds... there's something that I had never heard of before. It's a practice in India and Singapore.
Okay.
It's less common now in Singapore, but it's still kind of like, it's more of a touristy thing at this point. It's called parrot astrology.
Okay.
Now, what do you think that would be?
Well, that one just seems pretty straightforward, where a parrot is going to like read your astrological chart, maybe? Like maybe they have the full star chart out and the parrot like plucks at it and then says some to you. In that weird little parrot voice that I can't imitate?
Well, what they do is they have a stack of cards, and they'll either fan them out or spread them out or do something like that. And the person who is the fortune teller, I guess, technically, basically opens the cage, and a little green parakeet comes out. Okay. A parakeet is a type of parrot, which I didn't realize.
You thought it was a baby parrot, didn't you?
I thought it was a possibility.
Because that's what I thought, like my entire life. The fact that it's a total different thing...
It's just
right now.
The parrot family includes parakeets or budgies, as they're known in other English-speaking countries, I believe. Yeah. But the parakeet walks out, picks up one of the cards, and hands it to beaks it to the guy or whoever's that's doing the process. The dude takes it, and the parakeet just goes and gets back in the cage.
Nice.
And then he just reads your future from that. And they've got all the like Hindu deities on them, except for sometimes they also have Jesus. But
inclusion. They got chickens at Key West. Chickens everywhere.
Yeah. Did somebody open up like a chicken astrology in Key West?
Yeah.
You've got like, you're fully staffed
All you
automatically.
do is scatter the grain, man.
Scatter the grain or lay out cards.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Or you can do the paired astrology without training them. Just scatter the grain on the cards. You combine both of those. And when you combine two different forms of fortune telling, you give it legitimacy.
Yeah, and you get like a super fortune that way too. It's like doubly good.
No, this one I'm not. There's two things that are similar, and then it kind of goes back to something I said earlier, but it's extispicy. It looks like XT spicy.
Okay, so we get some XT spicy.
And horispicy. Now, what do you think either of those things have to do with?
Well, horisticity sounds like horoscope, so I'm going to go with that.
Well, there's horispicy and extispicy. Extispicy is studying the entrails of animals, and horispicy is specifically the livers of sacrificed animals.
So I'm completely wrong. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you would like ceremonially kill and gut an animal, and then study its entrails to divine the future. Now, I from what I can tell, like most of these are more focused on like telling an individual's future. This seems more about like looking into a general future. It seems like more logically the practice, because there's no real way to connect what you're doing with a person so much.
Comet's coming. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah? How you know? Well, we killed that goat last week.
Yeah.
The goat's entrails told me comet coming.
Yeah, you could
be here next Tuesday about 9:45. Yeah.
Any kind of celestial like concerns and dangers like that, you can see it in the pancreas.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I don't know, but I know.
Like Deep Impact, man, they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
They knew. How'd they know?
Some of the people killed the goat.
Pancreas. Goat pancreas.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I can buy that.
The Babylonians practice this. It's even described in Ezekiel.
Well, you can't trust a Babylonian, man.
Well, the Ezekiel, for those that don't know, is a book in the Bible that was written primarily for shock value. There is ridiculous, hilarious stuff in Ezekiel. If you don't believe me and you have access to a Bible, and if you live below the Mason-Dixon, you have one in your house, whether you've read it or not.
And if you don't, the thrift store has got like 30.
Yeah.
Any thrift store.
For like 80 cents. Or a lot of times you can just go to a church and they'll give you one.
Yeah, they do. They just hand them out.
Read Ezekiel. It's hilarious. And I'm pretty sure it's where the phrase hung like a horse comes from. There is a part in Ezekiel that refers to someone having a penis like a horse's. Find it. It's a fun game. Find it. Find the horse joke in the book of Ezekiel in the Bible. Do it now. After you watch this video. Then do it.
Pause the video. Then do it. Come back.
No, don't pause it. Pause it, start it over, and give us more watch time.
Yeah, keep it going, and then just like restart it and watch all through again.
Here's one. Let's again see if you can guess what this is.
Okay.
Ureamancy.
Spelled U-R-E-A.
Yeah.
Urea, which is the root from which urine comes. So I'm gonna guess that you piss in a fire, and based on how bad it smells, it'll tell you your future. Don't piss in a fire, kids. It smells horrible.
Oh, it's terrible. It's worse than burning hair.
It's the worst.
It is terrible. But no.
It at least involves urine, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Sometimes when you pee in like a toilet that's got water in it, you know how it gets frothy?
Yeah.
Like it gets bubbly? Well, the idea is that you can divine your future by studying the patterns in that urine froth.
Man, I make a lot of urine froth, so this is good for me to know.
Apparently,
I need to study this.
Some alternative forms of ureamancy were based on smell and taste.
See?
So you would smell and taste the urine to
fire.
divine someone's future. I was not able to find as much about this one, so I can't tell you how it started. Someone may have just completely made this up.
It was some dude. It was some dude. He lived out in Temecula, or maybe he was in Sedona. He was in Sedona. He was looking for like vortices, and he caught a whiff of his own urine one day and was like, I think I'm going to...
Yeah, he was on mushrooms.
I think I'm going to get a bagel later. And then he went and he got a bagel. He decided that he like foretold it. It's like, no, dude, you just decided to get a bagel like 3 hours ago. Come on, bruh.
He's wandering through the desert looking for doors like Brad Pitt in California. Have you ever seen California?
No.
It's Brad Pitt, David Duchovny, and some other people whose names I can't remember.
I've always seen the box art for it and was like, oh, maybe I should like pick that movie up back when rental stores were still a thing. I never did, but you know.
His girlfriend at one point, he's like, just like pulls her breast out, and he's like, I forget her name. He's like something. Put your titty away, or something like that.
That sounds like my kind of movie.
Like,
actually, I might need to
go
watch
inside
this.
and put your titty away.
I might need to watch this.
Here's one more real one.
Okay, one more real one.
You might guess this one. Gastromancy.
That's going to involve your poop, most likely. Or your vomit.
Well, it does get involved
or your food.
Well, it's stomach-based ventriloquism. Okay, now this requires some background. Ventriloquism started as a religious practice. Long before it was an entertainment thing with the dummy and all that. What it was is stomach noises were thought to be the voices of the unliving, basically the dead, who existed in the belly of the ventriloquist, and he would interpret the sounds as though he were speaking to the dead and using that to tell the future, and that turned into Guy with Dummy. That turned into Jeff Dunham doing the same exact bit for the last 20 years.
I'm just, like, I feel that we've missed out.
Like, that happened too soon in history? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, all the good ideas, man, they're gone. They're all gone. Because you could, you could just, like, make so much money. It's like, oh, no, I have dead people in my guts, and they talk to me. I can tell you your future. Hang on a minute. You don't even need a stethoscope. How do you hear it? It's difficult to hear your own.
Oh, I hear mine. Mine are loud. Maybe that was the idea, is the people that just happen to have loud guts were thought to be like, somehow they were the chosen ones and they became ventriloquists. It's like, here's what you got to do now. I was like, okay. I mean, go here, eat these peppers, and then your stomach's like, oh. It's like, that's the dead talking. That's my grandpa. He says,
that's Grandpa Joe.
That's Grandpa Joe. He says, hell's hot. Oh. Poor racist Grandpa Joe.
I miss you. Rips Grandpa Joe. I've been getting me a lot of Greek history lately.
Yeah?
Yeah. Been playing God of War, son.
Oh, okay.
I'm late to the party. I'm just now playing the first God of War.
Covered in the ashes of his dead family, basically. That's why he's gray.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because he's covered in that.
Well, I hadn't got to anything that said that in the game, so
I think that's...
I think you might have just ruined something for me.
Did you read the manual?
No, I never read the manual.
Because I think it's in there.
I go into it blind, man.
Now, this is what I've come up with. It's called pugilistic hematomancy.
Okay. I know what pugilism is.
Yeah.
And hemato has to do with blood, because I've had a hematoma.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that you are reading the bumps on a boxer's face after a match, like when Evander Holyfield got that weird, huge hematoma.
Yeah. That was like a whole grapefruit coming out of his head. Do you remember that? That thing was insane.
Of course I remember that.
Pugilistic hematomancy. If I were telling your fortune, what I would do is I would punch you repeatedly in your face, and then I'd study the blood spatters on my knuckles to divine your future.
Okay.
You got. This is a way to dupe someone.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it. They gotta be dumb as hell, like real dumb, like dumber than us.
And we're dumb, like really dumb.
And
like I'm taking a video game as legitimate Greek history out here. Okay. We are not smart people.
And I'm trying to convince people to let me punch them for money. We're not, this is not, we didn't graduate from college or anything.
We're totally going to pull this off.
You went to college.
I went to college?
I was enrolled in college. I didn't go. I went to the movies.
Went to the movies and the varsity and got chili burgers.
No, I was a vegetarian then. I got egg salad sandwiches from the varsity, which were surprisingly good. Although I did start eating meat after that, and I stole one of my roommate's donuts. Thanks for watching.
Hold still. I want to punch you.
No, I don't need to know my future. I want to go in blindly.
It's okay, I don't know how to interpret it anyway.
Yeah. I would have to interpret it for you, and with my eyes swollen and everything, I wouldn't work.
It'd just be bad.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't clicked none of them links, have you? I wouldn't do it.